Oh, and this is, look at those triggers! And every bat is a 5/5 drawing cards. Man, this is crazy. They literally need to draw a sweeper instantly or they die. And we can do it every single turn forever. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today we'll be using one of the cards you probably know in a way you probably have never seen before. Have we been using it wrong? Lunar Convocation can be a draw engine that also creates the board, and I mean that's the dream. However, in order to trigger it, you need to gain life and lose life during your turn, and this is not easy. However, we made the full deck with so many life gain effects that gaining life is easy, even as simple as playing land, and with the damage, I mean Aether Pain Land, just taking damage to the face, or just by drawing cards with Lunar Convocation. It's pretty cheap. You only pay 2 mana for each card and you can do it all basically forever. And with Caretaker's talent, those bad tokens can be absolutely huge, and they also draw you another card when you create them. So the deck goes pretty wild, and I think today games will be very fun, so I think you will enjoy them. And if that wasn't enough, we have single Kaya to force scoop from value decks, and we also have Enduring Tenacity because we play so much live game that double Tenacity can deal very easily like 20 damage out of nowhere, especially with unions. And the fun fact about today's video, the idea of Lunar Convocation with live game comes from one of you guys. We're asked to make a deck around it, and of course we can. Here you go, that's the one, and I hope you will like it, so have fun. Lunar Convocation needs, both life gain and life loss. We have life loss on the Painland, but we need to find a way to gain life easily. They can go for demolition fields to shuffle our library, but it doesn't matter too much, so I would actually be very happy with it. We probably don't want to play Fountainport unless we want to use it. Full swing? Can I? Please? Of course we will go through. It's not the biggest threat. I will still play this. Even if they have a counter spell or something, we need to go through them because we have so many threats here. So I hope they... Perfect. They went for the land. That's good. That's good. We take a swamp here. A voice crack. Classic. Alright, and let's see, maybe they have another color. Yep, Azorius. So this could be a control deck. The legendary, forgotten control deck on the ladder. We will see. I'm still not fully convinced, but usually control decks play demolition fields, especially 2 of them, because they don't want, those tokens every turn. Let's go for this one. I don't want to get no more light. So I think if we set up this, no, let's go for the sure thing. We can get this on our turn. I want to make sure that it cannot be countered. Then we play land, and we will have enough for Convocation. We don't need this land, that's for sure. And let's draw. Let's draw. Oh man, this will be wild. And the fun part is that even if they have like sweepers and stuff, we can keep replaying this over and over. Flanker, fine. Normally this card is super annoying because it gives your opponent so many possibilities to kill planeswalkers, deal damage, block something, but with those tokens it's not meaningful at all. It basically trades against every token 1 for 1. 2 top, they really like the card, so I would assume those are 2 lands from the top. We'll see. We need to be careful of lockdowns, so we probably won't. Maybe we play 1 Convocation. If they lockdown, then we play the second one. They want to get lost the talents and lock down the Convocations. They don't know about this card yet, so we need to take advantage. And let's get some cards going with the cakes. And they really want to get rid of all of those lands. And when they use the last demolition field, guess what happens? The Fountainport. I mean... No. We're not pressured. Like, there's 0 damage coming, so I don't think it's worth it. Alright, they're waiting with the demolition field, that's fine. Let's go for this one. So... we can live gain on this turn already. So what we will do is full swing See if there's reaction. I think they will just take the damage. Good for us. Now we play the Lunar Convocation. What is the naming? If you gained life, if you lost and gained. Sure. So it doesn't need to be in the board. Let's go for white mana. So we have the equal amount. Now we have 3 mana, so we can pay for no more lives, and they cannot 3 steps ahead because they don't have double blue. And now we can also go for the cake. So we live game. That gives us a path and a little bit more pressure on top of a scry. At some point I will set up Kaya and try to drain them, because I think they don't have counterplay to Kaya. That's why we have 1 to close games that are very hard to close in other way. Perfect! It's also before the scry. So yeah, they got impatient, and I think we're doing very nicely to punish it. Now we have this Fountainport clear, and if you have multiple demolition fields and you waste them, it's actually so much harder to draw the third one. Get lost, sure. They removed this engine, but now we have Convocation. This is not the card we need. It actually hurts us more than our opponent. Let's go. Maybe we can draw some lands. Nope, we don't need this one. And let's make sure that we draw something. Even if they sweep, I'll take it. Good, 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 good. That was a free turn. And look at the board. We didn't really invest anything, and we just have so many like random tokens. Here's the lockdown. Alright. Definitely perfect, but we can take it back with Get Lost later. And we have enough Lunar Convocations here. Gaining life. Losing life. The perfect synergy, and now we can draw with this one. So they need to keep removing it, and they have so little pressure with flanker that we actually can like completely deny all of this with a single token every turn. And of course we will start drawing cards very shortly. Then we draw into unions, and we can refill all the life that we paid. And you can see that they can answer some of the enchantments, but not so many. Sure? Do they reiterate 1 for 1? Alright, and this looks so good for us. And let's keep drawing cards for free. Man, I love this kind of effect. There was like this enchantment that transforms into land in Historic, and I was using it like crazy. Now let's go for Elspeth. We don't have life gain on this turn, but that's fine. That's fine. We'll get one on the next turn. I think they might scoop soon. Not super sure, but they are getting more and more behind with every turn, and I'm not sure if they have counterplay to those cards. But let's see, maybe they have something extremely powerful. Like Farsight's Ritual. Okay. I didn't live gain, so it's not worth to draw a card here. This probably means they have another lockdown, right? Because they really care about those convocations. So good for them, but it's only 2 cards, and they are not perfect. There are some selection, but you know, it's just 2 out of 4, so it's the quality isn't like perfect. Oh, sorry, they went for the bargain, so the quality is actually perfect. So those are the best cards. One of them could be Demolition Field, because they realized that, you know, we bamboozled them a little bit with this, you know, postponing Fountainport. I would really love Demolition Field to be one of those cards, because that means the other card is just, you know, 1 card out of all this whole play. Let's go for a Swamp. We still have a lot of basics, so we can keep drawing them. A lot of decks would just lose 3 lands. Like, I think Esper enchantments don't run basics, so and this would hit so hard. And it seems they play 4 off. Sure. They also need to answer this live game. Man, this is so fun. Like, they are fighting against all of those enchantments like an absolute champion, and they cannot deal with all of this. Another lockdown, sure. So that means we're doing another card. So as expected, they have more, but the problem for them is we still have more value. They need more than 4 Get Lost in this deck, and they don't have it. So how do we want to play? We can play this and draw like 5 cards, but I don't think it's worth it. We go for another Archangel. Now we go for the talent. I think the tap was super wrong, by the way. Because we could copy it if that was white mana, but I didn't pay attention. And here's our union. Alright, man, we are grinding them. Like, I think they are losing the game very shortly. Like, they just cannot keep up. We get so much free stuff on everything. And if we have a lot of mana, we can play this. And in response to them killing it, draw like 4 or 5 cards if you have enough mana. Right now we got 1, 2, 3 cards instantly. So even if they kill it with perfect answer, it's not like good enough. First, Jace. Let's see if they go for greed. -2. Alright, a little bit of greed, but not too much. And I really like this play. So right now we go for this. I think they have the answer and I think they will kill it. But that will force one of the cards. Wait. I don't see anything happening. Let's go for... Man, I think they actually don't have the answer. So, let's start killing those Jaces. Smite, or something like this. We could deny the whale if we want. How much? No. We need to kill Jace here. Yep, let's get it on top. And I did this play because this forces a card and I still kill the Jace. Which is super nice. And we want to pay white mana for this one. No, we don't have Lunar Convocations, my bad. This deck is actually super hard to play, to be honest. And we'll tap like this. So the Jace is out of the board. This card is random, so it could not be the plan of double Jace, because this is random card. That's why we can feel pretty confident here. Play the land for sure. We have this copy. I guess I could just go for this. No, we go for the talent. We go for the talent because then we can make another creature and force them to, to block it. And we can pump with everything. They get some life gain, but not too much. And you know what, I will set it up. I didn't really plan for this, to be absolutely honest, but I think it's still the better play. We should have enough value with those talents, so every pressure that we can increase is super important. Alright. Let's force them to have another answer. Those are 2 random cards, I think. Yep. Now we go for this one. We need to be careful of those payments. Tapper really wants to tap them. And we need to pay life, so we can gain life. Let's go. That is a lot of damage already. That also means all the smites are basically useless. Because this is already 12 damage with lifelink. It also offsets every Lunar Convocation that we ever played. It drains our opponent by 1 and we also get the bat. And we also draw cards because of this. Man, this is so crazy, and the bat is 5/5. Oh man, everything is working perfectly. Even if they sweep this, and they probably will at some point, I can just go Tenacity and Union, because they are so low, they will die to the combo. So I think they are dead in every possible way. We just need to draw enough cards, even if that makes us vulnerable to Jace. As long as we draw a dance step, it's fine. Some for sure. So as you can see, they are going for more and more desperate plays, and it doesn't really help them. Do I want to go for the lockdown? Oh man, you know what the play is? Oh man, the play is cool. We'll get lost on white mana. Can we live gain? Oh, but we cannot live gain. We can! We have Union! Alright, we go for this one. They have only 1 card in the hand. This is very 3 steps ahead mana, so I'm a little bit concerned if that's actually a counter spell. Because this feels like they are considering using 3 steps ahead. and they have perfect mana for it and last card, but the chance they drew it is super low, so I'm not sure. It feels like it's 3 steps ahead, but it shouldn't be. I think they're reading the card. How important... Man, I think this is a counter spell. Come on, really? It's random card from the top. I tell you when they actually... it's fine, it's fine. It's very important, but now they are fully in top deck mode. No game plan, no, nothing. Basically, they have to play the whole game out of this. So we draw card with this for sure. Don't forget, every bat is a 5/5. Bro. Really? No way, no way. Alright, this is pure arena. So let's take back our stuff. We play Temple of Silence with Scry on the bottom. And I mean, why wouldn't we draw a card? It's fun. Oh, and this is... Look at those triggers! And every bat is a 5/5 drawing cards. Man, this is crazy. They literally need to draw a sweeper instantly or they die. And we can do it every single turn forever. We discard a card, just suffering from success. And they are so dead, man. Even if they draw Jace, which is the best card, they cannot win. Yep, I appreciate it, man. Those bats are a menace, and they will get them sooner or later. Alright, let's check this hand. Seems promising, I'll take it. And I think we still go for the Barrens. Life gain is very nice in this deck, but, not super important to get this one life gain later with Lunar Convocation. We definitely will go for the cake. We need to set up our engines for drawing cards. And our opponent is already just itching to play something so the number goes down. So do we go for removal? Definitely an option. So you really want to keep go for the throat whenever they have this, because their main play is I think they will play 1-drop and there's no counterplay to this. Alright, they got a little bit mana screwed and we absolutely need to take advantage of this. We want to win, because at some point they will draw 2 or 3 lands, and you need to be really ahead by then. If not, they overtake you. Alright, so we wait for... I really hope I did it quick enough. They know about removal. However... Yeah, I think they have more creatures. However... We could play the Caretaker, Enduring Tenacity. We really don't want them to draw those cards, so I think we go for the cake. If we kill it, they just play another creature. Definitely no lands here. However, we cannot, because then they play another creature, and because we are tapped, they will just double pump it, and that's huge value. Even if they protect it. Alright, now they know, but it's carrot cake, so they don't know if we have removal or not. And this is our first piece of value. 2 for 1, that's how you need to trade against this deck. Otherwise they get too much value. And now they can cast this one for free, get it to what, 3/3 I believe? And we need to roll with it. This deck, even mana screwed, they actually have so many ways to play the game. And one of the reasons the deck is so strong and so popular. I will play Elspeth here. I think this will be a true menace to deal with. They can probably pump this card. Man, this is crazy. They actually can play this on 1/2 lands, because the whole deck costs 1 or 2 mana. So, not exactly the same as in Control. And they have flying. Is that already? Yep. 6 damage. Easy, bro. I thought that I can have, some blockers, but of course, as you can see, 1 mana creatures do everything. However, they needed to invest heavily into this, and for this reason, we could already go with Tenacity, and I think this is the play. So we kill this guy. That means, even though they get 1 of the cards back, it puts them so behind they lost the game. So yeah, the game is pretty much lost for them. Because now we have Tenacity, and we not only have a creature that can block nicely, but most of all, we are starting to pressure their life total super hard. So we can reverse the game. Maybe they have one drop into Sheltered. That actually can answer like literally everything. Name the combination they have it. And let's be honest, Shelter by Ghost, absolutely busted card that is so insane that if you draw it you are always ahead, if you can play it. So what we have to do here is to play Union and start drawing into something. 25 should be good enough to set up some good engines. We can also start sacrificing cards, which is super nice. A little bit mana intensive. But I think it's a good deal. Let's go like this. Don't forget we have plenty, absolute plenty of sweepers, and we want probably to keep... well, we have Fountainport. So my train of thought was that we can draw a talent, and with talent we need tokens, but we have Fountainport, so we always get them. So shouldn't be a big difference. They play the land? No, they didn't, so they will go for the map token probably. Interesting. Okay, this will be a very cool play. They obviously have some pump spells. They really want to target Challenger. I think this is good enough. Now they are forced to cast something, and they get Juicy 2 for 1, right? Well, not really, because we'll sacrifice one of the cards. Monstrous Rage. And of course they get the counter. Whatever we do, they always get this combination, and they can always target the Challenger thanks to Scavenger. The perfect draw, they exactly wanted this round. So as you can see, this deck is insane even if it has a slow start, because it also has incredible value. That means we can sacrifice this. We sacrifice the one without a life gain, so we life gain a little bit more. And this is Fumigate, so that means we sweep the board fully, and that's why we don't super care about what's going on in the board, and then we get Enduring Tenacity. They can use the map token, or play something more into the board, which I would absolutely support. They probably have one reload, so it's not fully over, but it's getting closer, and closer, and closer. We get to 22 life. We could start pressuring them, but I like my cakes. And then we'll play Elspeth. And here it goes. After we solved everything, we have our first lockdown. Honestly, I also want talent, because we need some cardo engine. But as you can see, Fountainport is doing its best. No permanent, so we don't get anything back with Elspeth Ultimate. So as you can see, there's still some reload, but it's getting slower and slower and weaker and weaker. And this damage is not very threatening right now. We don't need to block this, because they have pump and they have first strike. So you cannot really trade into it. We could get rid of this, but I don't think it's any kind of good deal. So instead, let's go. This is surprising amount of damage, and with Tenacity, those two carrot cakes deal 6 damage. So let's see if we can catch our mono-red opponent. Not thinking about defense. To be fair, they still have like double strike, Shelter by Ghost, so they can literally just burst you for 20 out of nowhere. So if you don't have instant removal, you always need to be careful about it. And as we are saying the cards, they keep playing them. Double strike, trample, drawing cards. And they can also use the map token. They are going for the combat phase, that's fine. But as long as they don't have Shelter by Ghost, we can do some nice magic here. We'll see. And we still have lockdown. So moment we don't like the board, we just sweep it and we don't lose Tenacity. But let's go for this one. I think we'll sweep the board probably, but we'll see. Definitely not. I'm not fully sure what exactly we'll do on the next turn. Here we go. Some damage. I mean, we have such perfect mana for the Fountainport. Get Lost. So we can lock down into Get Lost. It's not the worst. I think we'll take it. I think we'll honestly take it. Not exactly what I wanted, but it's pretty good. Do we want to triple block this? I guess. I guess. Or double block it because this one is tapped. So if we sacrifice with Fountainport, it actually doesn't lower the damage. Because this has trample, so 0 toughness because the creature was sacrificed, so they are not getting too much. Let's see, maybe we're dead out of nowhere on 24. Nope, not yet, but very close, very close. And you know what? It's actually better to go for this one. We know our next draw, so we play Lockdown for 3 mana. We have 4 mana open, so it's Archangel Elspeth. Yeah, because we get flying and we win the game. So that should be good enough. I didn't even realize that we already won the game. As you can see, if they don't have shelter, they cannot like get this life gain to win the race, and they actually need to respect. By the way, this is 16 damage with trample. Because why not? Why not? Still amazes me, like how big number is on those 1 and 2 drops. However, our opponent is 100% dead, they just don't know about it. And that's why having a single tenacity in board is so nice. Alright, thank you Convocation. So we go for this play, and we enjoy the moment. We savor this one. This is 6 damage with flying. Go face! Our opponent likes going face, and so do we. Oh, that's always a nice explosion. Alright, so what we go for? We definitely go this into... I think we set up the talent. You know, if we go for the full setup where our opponent is trying to set up as well, we're for a very nice game. Get lost is fine, because we have a different engine anyway, so it's kind of the same. Now we can start making the paths pretty easily, probably. Up the beanstalk already here, but interesting. Get lost is not in the card I expected. I honestly think we might go for it. It's really good value, and it not only gives us some value on this turn, but also on the ever following turn, and they already use Get Lost, so there is huge chance they cannot answer Elspeth anymore. Overlord. Alright. Maybe it's just bad with Overlords. Definitely feels like it right now. Alright, some tokens, so we can live gain. Alright, this is important. We have so many options. I definitely want to draw a card so we make a bat. This is a good deal. And I think we make another token. We also stack some loyalty. Alright, I think this should be good enough. Caretaker, not a bad card. I'll take it. Alright, we need correct mana for Lunar Convocation. So now we have pretty strong creature that is a 3-3. They can trade for both, but they really don't want us to get so much life gain every turn, so this is a problem for them. But they also have to have some moves in the board, otherwise they cannot threaten Elspeth. They actually double blocked. Love it, absolutely love it. And we are making some nice progress in the board, so we go for the card. That means we lost life and we gained life, which means the bat. Look at this cute face, it just wants to die in some weird way to kind of deck. But over time we'll just keep stacking those bats, and at some point they might not have enough answers. We probably want to win by, you know, going for the combo or Kaya. We'll see. We can stack unions, play the tenacity, and then try to kill them in one turn. We can... Yeah, we have a lot of options. And we can also -6 Elspeth soon and get the talent back, which is a very nice play. I don't want to highlight Graveyard, so they don't know about it. But we only have one card, so it's only talent. Binding. Good for them. Going for this Elspeth. But now we can keep Convocation. They keep removing stuff, but the Convocation is always here, which is super good for us. Yeah, I think we... I mean, we are live gaining anyway. Oh, this is absolutely the card I want. Good. And every time we are getting better and better board, which is super nice. Let's draw a card. Yeah, and you can see that we are live gaining, making bats, and also drawing cards all at the same time. So it's actually a pretty solid value engine all around. Like you get board and card advantage in same way. And the live gain means that it's very hard to race you. Like they kinda have to answer our stuff. This is already a board for a small sweeper. A little bit scary for the lockdowns. Because they don't really exile anything except up the beanstalk from them. And they destroy everything we have, so that's a little bit wonky. So, already here, sure. We have the token, so we can block. Alright, I think we might be entering the Fumigate stage of the game, because our creatures can absolutely just, be thrown away, basically. Not exactly the same as their creatures. So we block here, that's for sure. And I mean, we'll decide later. It's only our end step, right? Yep. Just making sure. I mean, we probably draw the card, honestly. We can always live in on our turn. So slowly but surely we are getting more and more cards. And I probably want to keep this and this in the hand for future. So this is our live game. You also make tokens. So they will get... Okay, let's take it. They will get a lot of value. But I think I will try to kill them in one turn, but I'm not sure if that will be easy. We don't really get any value from this scry. I'm not sure if I've drawn the card, so I will draw again, because I completely forgot what happened. And we live gain, right? And I don't remember what we did, because I was completely out with the other place. I assume that we did. Did I? Yep. Alright. And we are still draining our opponent just a little bit. The problem is that Overlord and, all the enchantments have the lifelink, so they will stack a lot of life. So we probably need to do some cheap damage. But at some point we'll just Fumigate. So that's the good play for us. And we can start sacrificing with Fountainport. So we block and then we... Oh man, this is so good. We can block with the token and then sacrifice it so they don't get the life gain. I like it. This won't be easy matchup. We'll have to grind a lot from them. But it's doable. Right, and they're not activating more enchantments, which is nice. Yep. We also have lockdown, but of course it's not in our favor right now. And this is okay, right? We're getting those bats basically for free. And we sacrifice the worst token. So Rabbit, you're cute, but you're still the worst one of all of them. Let's draw a card here. This way we negate the lifelink, so they're staying at 22. And we are trading nicely here. While also drawing cards, so we can finally hit the sweeper at some point. We have 4 Fumigates, so it really shouldn't be very hard. But, we grow, we develop, we play stuff every turn. We need to life gain something. This one alone doesn't life gain, right? This will be a bit mana intensive, but we can do it. Let's see the scry. Nope, definitely not the card. Play the land. I'm playing land later because of the union. I'm not sure when I will play it, so I just prepare for it and then make the decision during the turn. We draw one card. They cannot really kill us, they have very little pressure. This is something. So we life gained? I'm not sure, so I will do it again. And I need to keep track, but whenever I'm talking, I'm not keeping track of all of this. Alright, they realized what the real threat is. They want another card. I think so. Let's go for it. We are not getting the bat, but we need to get Fumigates. More land, man, we are doing so many lands from the top. Alright, I mean, this is something. But it's not what we want. We actually need to draw the Fumigate at some point. And I don't want to waste all this life gain with unions, just trying to survive. I want them to be meaningful. Caves might be nice because this is a pain land, so we can always take damage when we need during our turn. Just by tapping. Another up the beanstalk. You know what, at some point I might try to lock down, but the problem is that they have 4 Get Lost probably and 4 ley lines. So they will get it back, draw cards, so it's a very temporary play. It's not like permanent solution. 3 cards to go. They can reanimate some more enchantments, but then they risk that they might all die. And this is pretty greedy. Especially that they are down to 3 cards. Maybe they have a Draxa or something. It's Angel, of course. I wonder what the human is for. Oh, for Azure. They didn't go for the wizard, they just want to be a human. Oh boy. Let's go for this life gain maybe. And do it right here. I think we do it. Should lower the damage for the next turns. Yeah, I think this is the best. Alright. And we can keep sacrificing the tokens every turn, so... You know, at some point, I promise you, at some point we'll draw one of our 4 Fumigates. Someday. Someday. So, I don't think we go for unions. We could go for Zur, but it's not amazing. I want to draw during their turn after I block. Kaya can steal something like Leyline. We get Elspeth back, and then we get a small Leyline that can target something like Zur. How much mana do we have? We could actually go for the throw this after Zur gets removed, but then they can kill Kaya, so I don't like this play. Tenacity. Tenacities are super nice. You know what? I really like this. The problem is that they might kill it, so I think we go for the fraud. Alright, a little bit risky play, but I'll take it. And I'm not using map tokens to try to get Fumigate, because then they will sit and they will change how they play. I don't think they can kill us on this board. And we have triple blockers. Potentially we can make one more. We can kill something or go for the union if we actually are, you know, in lethal range. Here comes the line. They are going all in. Man, I would love to punish it, but I need to draw one of my 4-offs. We play maximum amount to have this kind of answer, but right now we don't. Like, we need to keep drawing cards every turn, and finally, the almighty shuffler might give us the card. Because they are overextending like absolute crazy, and we cannot punish it right now without Fumigate. Alright, let's go. Blockers. This is an interesting attack. I think we go like this, right? And then we can deny the biggest lifelink. So that's the one. Now if we sweep the board, they are losing also Binding. We get Elspeth back, and they also lose their Value Engine with Up the Beanstalk. And they don't have too many cards. I'll take it. Still no Fumigate. I just realized that we're still not getting it. That's fine. At some point it has to happen. It has to happen. Do we try to kill something, assuming we'll never draw it? I don't think that's a good call. 4-offs. 4 of them. I see how it is. I see how it is. So I could go with what? Like, I actually need to start responding here. Alright, we'll use one of the unions. Because we want to draw cards, we can still Fumigate after we draw it. Alright, not the case, apparently. Can start removing stuff, but it's not amazing. You know what, I think we actually have to go for this again. And again. And all of this is purely purely based on the bed draw. Like, there's nothing more here. I'm changing whole strategy based on the bed draw. Let's go for this. Do we have to lockdown to prevent all of this? There might be a chance we have to do this play. It's not great, but I think we have to. I mean, let's go. Let's go. It's not a permanent solution, but it lowers what? 10 damage? It's still something. They can reanimate up the beanstalk. On the bright side, it makes them feel that they're actually, having the winning play. That should really end very quickly the moment we hit the first Fumigate. And I cannot believe how many cards we drew. And I'm talking about this because, I mean, that's the whole strategy. Like, this is my game plan to win the game, so I'm just waiting until I get it. And there's nothing I can do until then, because I don't want to waste removal, because then when I draw Fumigate, it's a bad play. So yeah. Still no? Oh boy, this is so silly. This is actually silly. So what can we go for? I can draw cards with the talent. And I think this is the play we have to make. I could play lockdown into double... No. We go like this. We make the token, we draw a card. And all of this is just based on, not drawing correct card. So we will see. If I don't draw it in next 2 or 3 turns, I might actually lose the game. This is so winnable, it's crazy. Like, I just play Fumigate, they have nothing, and we win the game. I already had to waste one of my best cards, Unions, that could go for the lethal with double Tenacity. So it's already not amazing, but it gets worse. Let's go for the fish. Those draws from talent is my hope to get back into the cards that we need. Did we draw 4 lockdowns and 0 Fumigate? Alright. What can I say? It is what it is, But on the next turn we will have Caretaker's talent already set up, so it's a little bit easier to draw probably. Do we kill something? I really don't want to go for this play. This is not a good play. But we'll see. Maybe now? Please, Shuffler? I was a good person? Nope. Oh boy. No way. Alright guys, I'm not even sure how to play this right now. I'm not playing removal. We need to draw the one of the 4-offs that we have in the deck for this exact reason. No, 30 cards. Alright, it's fine, Sloth. It's fine. We just have to remove everything manually. Man, what can I do? I think that's game. We cannot draw our sweeper, we play 4-offs. We drew all of the lockdowns from the deck. Oh boy, so I can kill Zur, I can go for the throw this and, this kind of stuff. 2, 2, and 3. And then we die to this. Even if there is a play, I don't care. We should redraw one of those. So alright, I guess we lose. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's games, even the painful last one. Those draws were pure pain, and if you watched it and felt it, don't worry, I also watched it a moment ago while editing, and oh boy, those draws were pure pain. And I know, there will be comment, but Sloth, you had to go for the throat, you couldn't use Kaya, you could just remove everything. I probably could, however, it wasn't the best play. The best play was to draw Fumigate in half of your deck, because we play 4-off, and sweep the board. However, yeah, sometimes I'll be honest, I'm just testing the shuffler to see how many whiffs in a row I can get. And then I'm like, alright, I'll just play another. I'm out. So that was the idea, and I still hope you enjoy it because we all have moments like this in Magic. So I also wanted to showcase this game, so you feel that it happens to all of us. Like we all have those games, and yeah. What more to say? We all know the feeling. So, guys, I won't talk too much about the deck in the outro. You have seen it. I will just talk about a few interesting facts, and if I feel the deck is good enough right now. But before we go there, a huge thank you to our patrons for supporting the content, for caring about the channel, and just being an absolute bro. So, thank you, guys. I hope you enjoy all the experimenting lately. I honestly had different ideas for the deck, and this is the one that I felt made the most sense. And we still need to play lockdown, so that was some hesitation from my side. Like obviously with lockdown we get rid of cakes, convocations, but the point is you decide when you play lockdown, and you decide where this is a good play, especially that you can always get lost, your own lockdown. So for example, you can get rid of all the tokens, or when you draw Fumigate, then you get lost this, you get Lunar Convocations and cakes back, and then you actually have a normal sweeper, so you can you can whiff around this, you can, or weave around this, so you don't get disadvantage. And having lockdown on turn 3 against aggro is usually game over, so it's worth the slot steal. And before we wrap up, because I don't want to overdo it, I could talk for 50 minutes about this deck, but I know I'm not going to. All right, the idea of convocation together with talent is very fun when it works. However, setting up talent in current meta already is a little bit slow. So when you add Lunar Convocation, and in order to take damage, very often you need to pay this to life, it gets a little bit slow. So it's good for those long grindy matchups, as we have seen in, I believe, game 1, that our opponent basically needs to keep trading cards for those tokens until at some point they don't have cards anymore. But there are a lot of decks that have some insane value that is basically not a fair value, we can call it like this. Like playing Atraxa into Atraxa basically gives you infinite card advantage for the rest of the game. A lot of decks will try to mill you with Jace, so if you draw a lot of cards without killing them, it's also a bit of a problem. So the deck definitely has some weak points, and in the end, I think that even though the strategy is very fun, and honestly, this is a very unique deck. I've been, I'm playing a lot of control decks in all different flavors, and playing this deck felt very different than the others, because it's like a puzzle. Every turn you want to deal damage, gain life, play convocations, because the more you have, the more bats you have, level up the talent. Like you have so many moving pieces, and it's very enjoyable to play. And if everything goes right, it's just you worked for this win. And with Enduring Tenacity, you also have this burst potential. Don't forget those tenacity stack. So if you have 2, that means Union probably deals like 16 or 20 damage, depending on how many cards you can stack in one turn, which is not super hard with Lunar Convocation, because you can even draw at the end step for like 11 cards in total, then draw the 12th card, and then draw again until you have 6 mana and double Union, and that with double tenacity it could be like 40 damage. So you can go big with this deck. However, it's way slower than classic talent controls, and it makes it very hard to set up, and it doesn't have the same power as like full control deck with Jace that can mill from 30 cards. You don't have this kind of win con, so it will be a rough matchup against real blue control decks with Jace. So yeah, I don't think it's good enough, but I think this is a very cool way to use Convocation, and I'm actually a super fan of this kind of effect, because in Historic, when I started Magic, I played with this, like there was some vampire legendary land that was enchantment, and it flipped, I think, if you had 5 life or less or something, and you needed to pay 2 mana for a card. I played it in every single deck, so I love this kind of effect. And yeah, I mean, we did the thing. I really hope you enjoyed, and yeah, see you guys tomorrow.